All right, first one comes from Steve in Atlanta. Asks, what are your thoughts on Kirby Smart's comments regarding the SEC championship in the new expanded playoffs, saying that it benefits teams that don't have to go to Atlanta?
I understand why this is fresh on Kirby Smart's mind. Think back to 2017. Kirby Smart and his Georgia Bulldogs won the SEC championship game. They beat Auburn in the SEC title. Alabama at 11-1 stayed at home. Alabama ultimately got into the college football playoff, where they ultimately met up with Georgia and beat them for the national championship. So I understand why this is a very pointed discussion, especially as it relates to Kirby Smart. Here's where I disagree with him. One, I think a first-round bye is massive. Massive. And the only way you can get the first round bye is by playing in and winning the SEC championship game. You have to win your conference. That's the only way you can get that first round bye. Okay. So, especially the SEC, of course, too. So, you win the SEC championship, especially when it's a 1 versus 2 and there's no divisions, you're in the top 4 in the original college football playoff 12-team format. So that's massive. The other thing I've already proposed on this channel before, if we are going to strengthen conference championship games, strengthen them. And I want conference championship games to be the end all be all. Why? Because that's what it was when I was growing up, man. Winning your conference was like the biggest thing ever. And if you got a shot at the title, you got a shot at the title. It's great. But winning your conference was every team's goal going into the season. Win your division, win your conference, beat your rival. Those are pretty much unanimous across the board. So what I would like to do, and I've already talked about this, I want to see the second round of the college football playoff in the 12-team format, the second round be played at home. I'd love to see that. Now, the first 2 years, not going to happen. They're going to be part of the New Year's Six. Now, of course, you win your conference, you're going to get geographic, advantages. So if you're Georgia, you play in Atlanta, depending on the year. If you're Georgia, you play in Miami, depending on the year. If you're Texas, you play in Dallas. If you're, Ohio State and you want to go to the Rose Bowl because it's familiar terrain, that's where you might go based on geographic advantages. So there are some advantages, obviously, to winning your conference title, even in the current format. But remember, this is a 2-year trial period. There's 2 years where we're going to look at everything. Does it work? Does it not work? Let's adjust this, adjust that. Let's see how things work out. So you're going to likely get to an opportunity where you host a game on your home court or on your home field at some point in the future. I personally would love that. I'd also like to see something put into the college football playoff format that if you win your conference, okay, even if you don't get a first round bye, because remember, there's 6 automatic qualifiers. There's 6 automatic qualifiers. If you win your conference, you're ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Meaning teams 5 and 6 that don't get that first round bye, you already had to play in your conference title game. You already won that game. That to me feels a little bit like a playoff, especially for some leagues, especially in the group of 5. That already feels like a playoff game. You should, at the very least, get to host the first round playoff game. Now, that's not written in the bylaws right now. The group of 5 champion, if you will, might be ranked 9th, which means they're going to have to go on the road. Or 12th, and they might have to go on the road. I would like to see that abandoned. So if you win your league, you get a home playoff game or you get a first round bye. That to me would be a good way of making sure that conference championship games still remain really important here in the ecosystem of college football.